Welcome. Well, you are at home with Jim and Joy, and you are an important part of our EWTN family. And we are so delighted that you've welcomed us into your home. And we wish you a blessed Advent on this beautiful Wednesday. We would love to hear from you. So send us an email with a question or a comment to jimandjoy@ewtn.com. And today we have a beautiful guest. Her name is Cassie Everts. She is the co-author of a great book called The Nursery of Heaven. You could go to her website. It's called everydayAnn.com. And the book deals with pregnancy, loss, implications, resources, and it's just outstanding.
Yes.
And we also have a beautiful woman who was on our show before, Donna Murphy. She has a great website called heavensgain.com. And there's Donna's number also. So if you're at home and you're saying, you know, I had a miscarriage and I never had permission to talk about it. I was told maybe by the medical community it was just a product of conception. It never really gave me the ability to mourn or to grieve my baby. And I was pretty much just told to put it under the rug and get on with my life. If that's you and you're grieving and you're hurting, today's show is for you. Maybe you're a family member. You know, every time a couple conceives, that baby belongs to the whole family, the whole family. And when there's a loss through a spontaneous miscarriage, stillborn, whatever the loss might be, an adverse diagnosis, everyone hurts, everyone suffers. And so today we're really going to talk about that. And Cassie has a beautiful story to tell. And so you don't want to miss these shows.
That's a beautiful story to tell. She tells her own story of pregnancy loss. We have others, men and women, sharing about loss of children, the different stages of loss. And then we have saints who've experienced this. And so it's going to be a powerful time. It's a wonderful, powerful read. And in the midst of all this loss, we want to have hope. And we trust these children into the loving hands of Almighty God, that they are with Him and with the Blessed Mother. But she touches on many areas here and great resources to help you along the way if you've suffered pregnancy loss, or you're one of those family members, a grandma, grandpa, who've suffered in that as well. So there's plenty more to come. It's a very tender show, but a hopeful show as well. And so I also wanted to mention the EWTN Media Missionaries, ytsync-en. We have a webinar December 3rd, Thursday, 8 p.m. All the missionaries should be on that webinar. And so go to ytsync-en. You need to join the Media Missionaries in order to be on that webinar. Father Joseph, Mary Wolf will be with us. We want you to join us. We want you to take the gospel of Jesus Christ and the good news of the church to your parish, publicly, to share beautiful information, our little network highlights, sharing all the different shows and highlights of shows. Do the work of an evangelist with EWTN. We'll be right back. Plenty more to come. Please don't go away.
Welcome back. Well, you're at home with Jim and Joy, and today our beautiful guest is Cassie Everts, and she is the co-author of a beautiful book called The Nursery of Heaven. You could go to her website, everydayAnn.com, and this book is also available at ewtnrc.com. Well, Cassie, we want to welcome you to At Home. We're so excited to have you with us. And first, we want you to tell our family a little bit about yourself and what made you decide to co-author this book.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Jim and Joy. It's a great honor to be here. My husband and I have 10 children. We have 5 beautiful, rambunctious children here on earth, and then 5 babies that we lost through miscarriage in heaven. The first 8 years of our marriage, we struggled with infertility, and that's also when we experienced our losses, our 5 miscarriages. And through that time, it was very trying on our marriage, a lot of grief. It was a burden and cross that I struggled to carry and wondered where God was, and also felt very alone and isolated as I tried to look for resources or to look at the church, and I didn't know who or where to turn to, and where to find community or where to find healing. And so when I heard about this book being written by Patrick O'Hearn, and it was really the Holy Spirit that brought us together, 2 people we've never met, Patrick and myself, and just a mutual friend that connected us. And he had told me he was going to start writing this book and asked me to help him co-author it. And I immediately said yes, because I knew of the need to have a resource for those grieving and something from the church, an authentically Catholic resource for the church community, because our pews are filled with women and couples who've experienced this loss. And so for them to have something as a Catholic resource with prayers and blessings and novenas and stories from the saints to turn to is something so needed.
Yeah, absolutely critical what you're saying in this book. There's simply not enough being done for families, for women, couples, when miscarriages take place. That's a reality for us, and it's not a condemnation, but the church needs to do more. We need to do more. Joy and I get so many phone calls because people know our commitment to life. We run a pregnancy medical center. They know our involvement in the movement. And so many good, solid Catholic couples, they're experiencing miscarriage, and they're calling and saying, well, what do we do? What do we do in this hospital? Will they give us the remains of our child? And how do we share about that? And then once we do, where do we go? Are there burial places? Do we contact a funeral home, or is there some cemeteries? It's a financial concern. We're thinking about having a baby. Now we're thinking about possibility of a funeral. What about a casket? I mean, on and on and on. And too many parishes and dioceses, may not be ready to answer those questions at a critical time in somebody's life. And hopefully more and more of them are coming on board. For you to have a resource, I mean, these are powerful testimonies, but you're saying your book, Nursery of Heaven, is a resource. Kind of step by step, here's what you're going through. Here's resources that are available to you to help you cope with this time and to provide resources for you that the next step you may need to take. That's a great service to the church.
How common is pregnancy loss?
Well, the CDC says that 1 in 4, 25% of women will experience a miscarriage, and then they say that 1% stillborn or 1% infant loss. So, when we look at our pews, now the pews are quite different with COVID, but our churches are filled with women and couples who've experienced this loss, but are oftentimes grieving silently. And I think as a culture, there's not enough awareness, and we don't realize how common a miscarriage actually is, because so often the couples are grieving silently. They're hurting and they're not knowing who to talk to or who to turn to. So, we may be, at Sunday Mass, we may not realize that they may seem okay, but they're carrying this burden, and it may have been something that happened, recently or decades ago. They still have this memory of this child in their heart.
Yeah.
What is the medical community response to a couple, to a woman when she's had a miscarriage? Because don't you think that's where the damage is coming from? Because there's a breakdown in how they treat it, how they dismiss it, and then the church just kind of follows the lead of the culture. So what is the medical community's response? What do they say?
Yeah, when my husband and I experienced our first miscarriage, I was just shy of 12 weeks, and it was something that wasn't even on my radar. So we were just completely blown away, completely devastated by this. And it was right before Christmas. And I remember then traveling back, because we were visiting actually family at the time, traveling back to our home and following up with my normal doctor and going in there. And because I was just overcome with grief, and I don't want to have to go through this ever again. So I'd asked her, what can I do to prevent this from happening again? And she said, well, it's very common, happens to almost everybody. So after you've had about 3 or 4 miscarriages, then we'll talk. And I was just so blown away by, her blatancy about and just kind of writing it off. And then it almost makes you feel, well, maybe this isn't a big deal. Maybe there's something wrong with me for reacting and being so, heartbroken and upset over this loss. Yes. And then, a few days later, they followed up with a phone call with test results, and the nurse on the other line just said something about the product of your conception is taken care of. So I think when we use these terms that we don't identify the child as a child, made in God's image, and his likeness never to be repeated again. The soul that lives on for all eternity. When we use these medical terms to refer to our babies, I think it also causes further damage to the couple, because they almost feel like they don't have this permission to grieve. And if they do feel, overwhelmed by the grief, they almost feel ashamed, or what's wrong with me? I'm so upset. I only carried the baby for 12 weeks or a couple months, And so I think, it's just a reflection of what we hear from, the medical community, and the reflection of the culture.
Mm-hmm. And then the whole point about being hormonal, the point of you as the wantedness of this child and your husband, the expectation. I mean, your first miscarriage, it was around Christmas. There were presents. Your whole family was so excited. When I read it, my heart was just wrenched for you and broken. I was like, oh my gosh. But that's so real. And so then you hear the product of your conception is taken care of. Like, click, like, okay, now Cassie, hit the reset button and get on with your life. But what about your loss? What about your sorrow? How do you, as the mother of that baby, and then the couple, how did you and your husband cope in the faith journey with that?
Well, it was a very difficult time for us. And, I saw my husband grieve initially when we were in the emergency room and we found out that there was no heartbeat and the baby had passed. But going forward, as the woman, and husbands grieve as well, but I took it a lot harder and grieved more physically and emotionally. And, I know he was grieving, but it was kind of suppressed, and he was more concerned of, I just want the joy back in my wife. I just want things back to normal. Like, how can I fix her? And he couldn't fix me. That's only coming from God's healing and God's grace. And so it was a difficult time in our marriage, and for us to find healing and to continue to move forward. Yeah. And I think that's why it's so important for couples to really take the time to pray together and really, unite together, even though it's difficult, and even though prayer for me at times was very difficult.
Yes.
As we continue to have more miscarriages. Yes. For me to sit down, for us to do the evening rosary, I thank God for my husband's faithfulness, because he was like, we're doing it. And I was like, I can't
no
even do it.
matter what we feel like.
I can't even say Hail Mary right now. Mm-hmm. But I think it's going to be difficult, and it's not going to be an easy path. But I think to realize that for couples who are grieving, that is okay. It's going to be a struggle. There's nothing wrong with you. But to draw together closer as a couple in your marriage, and then also, as prayer, to have God, cement that for you.
And let's say that your husband is watching your 5 living grandchildren today, right?
Children.
Yes.
Yeah. Grandchildren. We have grandchildren. I'm sorry. Your 5 children, your mom is here with you, and that's a beautiful thing. Let's spend a few more minutes, as difficult as it is, sharing about your losses. So you've experienced that first loss, I think it was December 23rd.
It was. Mm-hmm.
And people are buying you gifts and so on. You go through this whole process, and you experience 4 more unique, irreplaceable losses, not just miscarriage, children that you've lost. What happens emotionally in going through this? Where were you on the journey, and you tried to do everything right? Speak to us about what was taking place through that, doing things right, it turning out wrong, and then the adoptions that have taken place. Just go through it as best you can.
Yeah, so our first miscarriage was on December 23rd, and as you mentioned, my family had bought us presents for the baby, as Christmas presents, and my brother, who was only like a teenager at the time, drove an hour to bring everything back and buy my husband and I all new Christmas presents, which was just so dear. But through that first miscarriage, I had heard the doctor mention something in the ER about, well, your progesterone seems a little low for, you being 12 weeks along. And that stayed with me. And, when I mentioned that to my normal doctor back in Wisconsin, she kind of dismissed it. But it stayed with me. And so I did seek out a doctor who was knowledgeable in naprotechnology and fertility care, founded by Dr. Thomas Hilders, who encourages that, to check these hormone levels, because it can play a very definitive role in many pregnancies. So we went through the testing of that, and that in itself can be a process, especially having all the blood work done.
And you have to travel, you have
Correct.
To go there.
Yes, and she encouraged me to have a surgery for endometriosis, so we did. And so, so my first miscarriage was 2008, and so it wasn't until, at the end of 2008, so it wasn't until, 2010, that in the beginning of 2010, that I felt comfortable and ready, emotionally and physically, to conceive again. And we had lost that baby, our baby Francis, in March of 2010. And so I was like, okay, now back to kind of the drawing board, and again overcome with the grief. And it's just another, you keep going through the, the cycle of emotions where, oh, you got a positive pregnancy test, and you, as a mother, you're naturally attached to this child no matter what the length is, and then going through, just the cycle of, okay, now the baby's gone, and now we're grieving again. So after that, our doctor, who, knowledgeable in NAPRO, encouraged us to go to Dr. Thomas Hilders, who is, everything he does is within, church teaching, in line with church teaching. And he's all about getting to the root and fixing what might be wrong in the woman's body. And so we went to him, and he performed 2 surgeries. And then, okay, this is going to be it, we did the surgeries, we're doing the progesterone and the HCG, everything by the book. And we conceived and found out we were going to lose again our baby Simon, and this was during Holy Week. And that's why we named him Simon. Lord, let him help you carry your cross, alleviate your pain. And it was in those moments, I remember sitting through Easter Vigil Mass and just thinking, as the priest said, after every Good Friday, we experience Easter Sunday. And I was like,
my Good Friday is going on and on.
Yeah, just clenching my husband's hand. Like, when will we see our Easter Sunday? It's been Good Friday after Good Friday. And then it was after that we conceived another child, and again miscarried, and just continuing these emotions, the cycle of emotions. And then we received a phone call from Dr. Thomas Hilders himself, which was very kind of him to call me personally. And he just said, Cassie, I'm sorry, there's nothing more that we can do for you. We've tried everything. And my husband and I had said before this, knowing this, that we would try NAPRO and fertility care because we knew that was the best there is, and it's in line with church teaching. And after that, it's God's will ultimately. And so that was just a very defining moment in our marriage and for me and my motherhood. It just totally brought me to my knees, because you have these dreams of your belly growing, of buying maternity clothes, of picking out names, of buying clothes for your baby and getting a nursery ready, and to just have that all just kind of washed away in that instant of saying, we've done everything. Here you are 4 miscarriages later. We've done everything. So to let go of that and to be brought to my knees and say, okay, Lord, it's your will. It's your will, and do with us in our marriage, what you please. And in that, eventually, I didn't feel it right away, but eventually I felt, peace. My husband and I just felt peace again. As you seek out God's will. And that's where we were brought and God led us to adoption.
Yes. Well, your children, Noel, Regina, Francis, Simon, Cecilia, and Gabriel, your beautiful children. Thank you for walking through their lives. That's very difficult for you to do. Thank God for your faith and your hope, and you're sharing with us. And as you were sharing, well, tell us now, I know that in one of your losses you were ready to adopt, and then you got pregnant, and they said, well, no, you can't adopt, and then you lost that baby. But then the Lord led you back into adoption, and then you had 3 births, so that's a lot.
Yeah, so we were in the process of doing an infant domestic adoption. And their policy is if you become pregnant, then you have to be dropped from the program. And we did become pregnant. And it was one of those things like, okay, you don't really want to tell them, because what if this baby doesn't continue to grow? But we did. And we were dropped from the program, and we did miscarry the baby. But in that, it's so hard in the moment, because you just feel abandoned by God at times, and you feel so alone. It's like, where are you in this, God? We're trying to seek your will. We're trying to be faithful and do what you're asking of us. And we're praying. I mean, we were praying novena after novena, every novena, there is, and you seek God's will. But in it, he led us to an international adoption to Ghana, which is on the western part of Africa, which we would have never thought of, or, I had never heard of Ghana, before this time. And so it was in his will. And he led us, and we adopted 2 beautiful boys from there in 2015. And then as soon as my oldest could speak English, he started praying for a baby sister, to the point where, buddy, maybe we'll adopt a little girl someday. And he didn't know our history, and too young to explain it to him. And there were so many changes already. And I just, maybe we'll adopt a little girl. Well, the prayers of a child, right? And a few
Yes.
months later, I was pregnant with our daughter, and then we went on to have 2 more biological children. So we went from 0 children to 5 in just a short 4 years after having no children for 8 years. So
Right.
God can do anything, and He's faithful.
Amazing.
Amazing story.
Begin to share with us a little bit about some of the other testimonies that are in your book from women who've experienced pregnancy loss.
Yeah, there are so many, just heart-wrenching stories, but stories of hope and beautiful faith. One story is a friend of mine, Sarah, and her faith is just so inspiring. It was a full-term pregnancy. Everything was healthy and normal, and she was just a few days overdue when they went into her doctor to decide on a date when she would be induced. And they couldn't find a heartbeat with the Doppler, so they ordered the ultrasound, and again could not find a heartbeat. And her husband knew, in their mind what was happening before their doctor said it. And it turned out that there was a kink in the baby's umbilical cord, and so she delivered, a full-term baby, 9 months, beautiful daughter. But in it, her faith is so strong and amazing. And after delivering it, that night she was praying the Divine Mercy Chaplet. And she had been reflecting on the prayers of the chaplet, and the closing prayer that we might not grow despondent, but seek your holy will. I'm not quoting it exactly in this moment, but and she was reflecting on that, and then the nurse came in, and she just kind of said, "What time is it?" And the nurse is like, "Well, it's 3:40 or 3, it's in the 3 o'clock hour."
Yes.
And that was just her first sign that God is with her.
Cassie,
Yes.
we're going to hold it right there. We're going to carry you over to the next segment. God's mercy is here. God's mercy is with you, especially if you've lost a little one, or you remember the family that's grieving that loss. There is hope, there is healing, and they are welcomed, I believe, before our Lord and our Blessed Mother. We'll be right back. Plenty more to come. Please don't go away.
Welcome back. Well, you're at home with Jim and Joy, and our guest today is Cassie Everts. She's the co-author of a great book called Nursery of Heaven. You could go to her website, everydayAnn.com.
Cassie, when we completed our first segment and you were sharing, I was asking you about the other witnesses that you have who've gone through this experience, and you shared yours with 5 losses that you've had, and you shared something about another woman that went full 9 months, and then there's a knot, and they lose this little child. Tell us some of the other categories, for lack of a better word, or situations. And then you've got here as well, miscarriage, stillbirth, and infant loss in the lives of the saints and today's parents. A little bit more about the parents, and then just mention the saints, what we have to look forward to in our next show.
Yeah, so there's also some beautiful stories. And I say beautiful because obviously the loss is not beautiful, but the way and the witness of the couples that tell these stories and their faith and how they clung to the faith and how they saw God in the moment. There's a story of a woman who gave birth to twins. Again, healthy pregnancy. Everything was going great. She delivered twins. One she held in her arms, and the other one was immediately rushed to the NICU and never left the NICU, and lived, I believe, little baby lived about 6 weeks. And she tells a story, and she mentions about how she's there in the NICU holding her dying daughter, tears streaming down her face, and a custodial person walks in and is just tidying up and says, "God's here, you know. It may not feel like it, but he sees you." And so I think to these couples, to give that witness of those moments of faith where they felt God and saw God, and if we, even in our grief and our sorrow, if we can just open our hearts, God has those moments where he's reaching down to us and reaching into our hearts and trying to bring us some sort of healing. So there's stories of these couples that have received prenatal diagnosis, others that had healthy pregnancies, had no idea what they were going to encounter. And then also we do have beautiful stories of the saints that really teach us how to cling to the cross.
Cassie, excellent. Thank you so much for your precious sharing, and we'll unpack this more fully tomorrow. You can go to everydayAnn.com, everydayAnn.com, how the Lord enables us to face the worst situation, the loss of a child. at whatever stage or phase of life, and somehow we not only survive, but we find somehow hope and peace and mercy and a belief in everlasting life. Keep it on EWTN. You're an important part of this family. Bye now.